million years ago, when the world was still young and untamed, deep within the endless folds of green wilderness, a small family of early humans lived in quiet harmony with nature. They were unlike the towering beasts that roamed around them. Short, only about 2.5 feet tall, but strong and graceful. Their skin was bronzed by the sun, their hair wild, their eyes alert with an ancient wisdom. They had no houses of stone, no weapons of iron, only courage, instinct, and the will to survive. Their home was a small shelter woven from branches and leaves, hidden under the shadow of giant trees. The forest around them sang with life. The chatter of monkeys, the rustle of lizards, and the deep, steady heartbeat of nature itself. The leader of the small family was Aru, a broad-shouldered male with a steady gaze and a calm strength. His partner, Sira, was gentle yet fierce when danger came near. With them lived their young ones, Noko, a curious boy, and Tila, a bright-eyed girl who often laughed at the sound of wind in the trees. Every morning, before the mist faded from the leaves, Aru would take his spear, crafted from sharpened wood, and step out into the wild. Their zebra, a strong striped creature they had raised from a foal, waited patiently beside the hut. Sira would pack a small bundle of fruits and roots, and the family would set out together. The jungle was ancient trees and glowing light. They walked carefully, every sound, every scent guiding their path. The hunt was never a game, it was survival. That day, the air was still and heavy, filled with the scent of wet soil. Aru raised his hand, signaling silence. Through the mist ahead, a small herd of deer grazed in a stream, their brown bodies glistening with dew. Aru moved forward, crouched low, spear ready. Sira stayed behind with the children, holding her breath. Time slowed. The hum of insects, the whisper of the breeze, the sound of Aru's heart in his chest. Then, with a sudden motion, he threw. The spear sliced through the air and struck true. The deer fell, and the silence of the forest shattered into echoes of panic as the rest of the herd fled. Sira rushed forward with joy, her children cheering softly. The family had food for days. Aru whispered a wordless thanks to the spirit of the forest before lifting the deer onto the zebra. But far behind the trees, another pair of eyes had been watching. Golden, silent, waiting. The lion, its powerful body, moved like liquid shadow between the trees, drawn by the scent of blood. As the family celebrated, the jungle grew quieter. Too quiet. Birds stopped singing. Even the wind held its breath. Felt it first. A tremor in the earth. A ripple in her spine. "Aru," she whispered. Then came the roar. It tore through the forest like thunder. Leaves burst from branches. Monkeys screamed. And the zebra reared in terror. The lion leapt from the shadows, massive and golden, hunger burning in its eyes. "Run!" Aru shouted, grabbing his family. They mounted the zebra and fled through the maze of trees, branches whipping their faces. The lion chased, its paws pounding the ground, its growl echoing in their ears. The jungle blurred into streaks of green and gold. Aru looked back, too close. He could feel its breath, hear the snap of its jaws. Then, ahead, a wall of rocks, a cave. "Inside!" he shouted. They leapt from the zebra and ran into the cave just as the lion lunged. Its claws scraped against a stone, roaring in frustration. Aru pushed his family deeper inside, his chest heaving. Outside, the lion prowled, its shadow flickering against the firelight they quickly built to keep it away. Night fell. The flames crackled, and the jungle whispered beyond the cave. The children clung to Sira, trembling. Haru sat at the entrance, spear in hand, watching the dark. Hours passed before the lion finally left, its roars fading into the distance. At dawn, soft light spread. Steam rose from the damp ground. The world seemed peaceful again, as if the night's terror had been only a dream. The family stepped out cautiously. Haru inspected the footprints in the mud, the lion's path, leading away toward the river. He exhaled deeply. Noko ran to the zebra and stroked its neck. Sira laughed again, the sound of innocence returning to the forest. They gathered their strength to begin the journey home. The sun climbed high, lighting the jungle in golden hues. Every shadow still held memory of danger, but every step forward was victory. The hunt, the fear, the fire. They were all part of the same rhythm that pulsed through the ancient world. When the family reached their shelter by sunset, Sira knelt and touched the earth, whispering gratitude. Haru placed the deer meat beside the fire pit. The children chased each other around the zebra, their laughter echoing through the trees. Above them, the sky burned orange and red, and the first stars began to appear. That night, as the jungle sang softly again, the family sat together by the fire. Haru looked at his loved ones, their faces glowing in the light, and smiled. He knew that tomorrow would bring new danger, new hunts, new survival. But for that one moment, beneath the vast, ancient sky, they were safe. And in the heart of the jungle, their small fire flickered, a tiny spark of humanity in a world still ruled by nature. It was the beginning of everything.